Hey, everybody, it's Jade. Thanks so much for cruising by the channel. Happy that you decided to swing on through, whether you're new or you are returning on back. And if you are returning back, what do you think of the new channel moniker? I hope you're digging it. I feel as if it's pretty reflective of what goes on over here. Sports, that's pretty obvious with the main focus on the Minnesota Vikings, of course, and just Minnesota sports in general. And stars is, of course, for the astrology that I just sprinkle in, that I bring into the channel. So hope everybody enjoys the new name for the channel. I really dig it, but yeah, let me know what you think. And not much is going to change on the channel because I pretty much, combine sports and astrology anyway over here. But I'll probably just add more astrology stuff. And when I say probably, I mean I will be adding more astrology stuff. I'm working on a birth chart reading for the Minnesota Vikings, so that'll be something to keep your peepers peeled for. So that'll be coming up. But when we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings, they're at training camp, people. It has begun. And two, I just want to reference back to the Titanic live stream this last Sunday. Thanks so much to everybody that joined in as the Vikings and the rest of the NFL set sail on the 2022 season, and just the Minnesota Vikings in general, because, the Vikings, they got the ship. So I thought it was very fitting to watch Titanic, one of my favorite films. So thanks to everybody that joined the live stream. It was very fun. And two, kind of crazy, one of the characters, Lovejoy, who is Cal, aka Billy Zane. Lovejoy, played by David Warner. We were talking about him during the live stream on how great he is in that character, because Lovejoy, perfect henchman, you just can't stand him, just terrible. And then we actually mentioned we thought that he was no longer with us during the stream on Sunday, and somebody looked it up and confirmed that he was actually still with us. And then Monday, news breaks that on Sunday he had actually passed away. So that was just kind of crazy. So RIP to David Warner. And then also we mentioned the 1996 movie Romeo and Juliet, because Leonardo DiCaprio was in both. And Paul Sorvino played Lord Capulet in Romeo and Juliet, and he has since passed away. So RIP also. So kind of just crazy. But yeah, thanks for everybody for joining the stream. And I hope the viewing of Titanic wasn't any foreshadowing for the Vikings 2022 season, but it is upon us. So very exciting. And two, just a couple of little news tidbits here. Former Minnesota Viking Kyle Rudolph, he is now with Tampa Bay, aka Tampa Bay. He is with Father Time Tom. That's what I was calling him, Tom Brady. So Kyle Rudolph is now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And also, who the Tampa Bay Bucks have added on is Julio Jones. So they are just getting stacked down in Tampa Bay. So look out for that. It's as if you already need to look out for him. Okay, word salad there. I made it. And now they had Kyle Rudolph and Julio Jones. I think I would pick Kyle Rudolph for fantasy football for sure. He was always a hot target in the end zone, as we know as Vikings fans. So I think Tom Brady will be looking to him a lot. So moving on here, people, to the Minnesota Vikings. All right. So training camp is upon us, like I said. And from training camp, day one, biggest news, Pizza Boy, Kirk Cousins, he got picked off. Yes, he did. Let me share my screen here. We can talk about it a little bit. He was picked off by Andrew Booth Jr. I'm getting this. Where did I snag this from? It's so small. SI.com. So basically a highlight from day one. Kirk Cousins got picked off. Are we going to remember this in the middle of the season? Probably not. And it's like, dude, come on. It's day one. Getting the iron or getting the rust off. There we go. I made it. People, I'm gonna make it. So anyway, that was kind of the biggest highlight from day one. And moving on. Another story too that really kind of gotten blown out of proportion in the last couple of days, in my opinion, was some comments that Kwesi Adofo-Mensah made a couple of days ago. He was talking to USA Today. It looks like this is coming from Vikings Wire here. So, and it's just like the way that this has been spun is just kind of crazy to me. It's just the power of, the media and all of that good stuff. So basically all Kwesi said was that Kirk Cousins is not Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, and then all of a sudden it's gotten blown out of proportion. And Kirk was asked about it today, and I mean, Kirk didn't really have much of a response. Like, I'm not really going to think about it too much. I have training camp to worry about, and just to be on Kirk's side, so to speak. Yeah, because it's not really anything. Like, obviously, Kirk Cousins is not Tom Brady nor Patrick Mahomes. Both of those two being, Super Bowl winning quarterbacks is the biggest thing. Here we go. Kwesi said, we don't have Tom Brady. We don't have Patrick Mahomes. And then that just got spun out of control. So, it just goes to show the media. And I think Kwesi's doing a little bit of like damage control right now, but it's not that big of a deal. It's kind of obvious. Hello. All right. And then, just kind of taking a left turn there. Hello. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Patrick Mahomes, but prove us wrong, dude. Prove us wrong in that you can be that caliber of a quarterback, because to me, you're like he's light years ahead. He's light years behind. People, I can make it through. I swear. All right. And then I wanted to point out, too, a tweet that I got sent to me. Shout out to JB for sending me this tweet. Thanks, dude. Let me pull it up here. And the thing is, with this tweet, okay, so this tweet, I don't know whether to believe this as truth or not, okay? So the tweet comes from apparently former head coach Mike Zimmer said this, apparently. Now, this is coming from NFC North News, okay? At NFC North News, 2 S's on Twitter, okay? So I looked into this to see if there was any more background information, to see who did Zimmer talk to when he allegedly said this, okay? And I couldn't find anything. So I have no idea if this has any validity or not. Right now, I'm just wearing a tinfoil hat when it comes to this tweet, but I'll read it. All right, so apparently this is what Zimmer said, according to this tweet from NFC North News. Wow, head exploding. Okay, so this is the original tweet from July 26th. Again, JV, thanks for the holler here. He sent me some eyeballs. All right, something to take a peek at for sure. Former Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer speaks on his incident with QB Kirk Cousins after Week 4 Lions matchup. And that was when they were kind of pushing each other on the sideline when Greg Joseph made a game-winning field goal here. I think a lot of Vikings fans can probably remember that moment when they were like shoving each other, on the sideline or whatever. I remember it. I definitely remember it. Okay, so apparently the quote here. Tension had been rising. This is from Zimmer, apparently. Tension had been rising between Kirk and myself after the loss to the Browns. I told him, face to face, he needs to be better. Kirk didn't say a word to me the whole week going into that game versus Detroit. Skip ahead to that last drive, and Kirk comes right up next to me as Greg is getting ready to kick it. Greg nails the kick. We win the game, and then Kirk turns and grabs me and says, "You effing like that? I just saved your job." I was ready to punch him in that moment. Instead, I pushed him off me. That was my breaking point with Kirk right there. Okay. All right. There's some things there. I mean, is that believable that Zim thought this and possibly have said this? Sure, that's definitely believable. But again, I couldn't find anything credible to go along with this other than this tweet. Now, it's pretty well written. Yeah, it's pretty well written that Zim would maybe say these things for sure. I believe it could be true. However, I'm wearing the tinfoil hat when it comes to this. I just, it all kind of makes sense. And sure, this could have come from a credible source, piecing together information. I believe that, yes. But again, I couldn't find any other credibility or sources to go along with it. But if it is true, boy, is that juicy. And if it is true, also, if this were to be true, okay, and that Kirk wasn't talking to Zimmer, that changes this whole like, narrative and this whole story that came out that was like Kirk basically was like, well, Zimmer wouldn't meet up with me and wouldn't talk to me. He refused to talk to me. It's like, well, if this were to be true, who's refusing to talk to who? Who's icing out who? But again, we don't know if this is true or not. But again, it's just food for thought here. But again, people, wear your tinfoil hat here because there is no credible source from this other than NFC North News. I'm not taking anything away from this Twitter account, okay? But it seems like it could be made up. And it hasn't really been circulating, this quote hasn't really been circulating on any major news outlets. Again, that doesn't mean that it's not true, but just saying. Again, thanks, JV, for the shout on that. What do you all think? What do you all think on that quote? Could be true. Could be true. Could it not be true? And I'm just going to double back and say that this year is, okay, my theme for the Vikings this year for 2022 is Kirk comfy? Is Kirk comfortable? We got to make sure Kirk is comfy. We got to make sure everything is comfy for Kirk. Okay. And I'm just looking through my nerd notes here. And I also wanted to mention this because I wrote it in very small print up at the top here. Everybody talking about, no, Kirk would never do that. He's such a good guy. Zim was the big bad wolf here in this situation. Let's just circle back to a nice guy that we all know as Vikings fans, Kyle Rudolph, who is no longer a Viking. And when he ended his time in Minnesota, he had this long kind of, I don't know what you call it, article or like goodbye letter, thanking fans and everybody in the organization. And he had played with Kirk, I think, I want to say for, what was it, three seasons? 3 or 4, something like that. 3, I think. There was no mention of Pizza Boy, a.k.a. Kirk Cousins, in Kyle Rudolph's thank you letter. And it was a long article, letter, what have you. No mention of Kirk. From one nice guy, and Kyle Rudolph, known as very nice guy, on and off the field. So, just saying. Just throwing that out there, people. Anyway, so thanks so much for hanging out, everybody. Vikings training camp. It'll be practice day 3, I believe, tomorrow, right? Yep, day 3, because it's Friday. Wishing everybody a happy new moon in Leo today. So happy new moon in Leo to everybody. New moons are great for setting intentions, new goals, what you want to achieve, especially in the next 30 days. And being in the sign of Leo that we are right now, or the sun is in the sign of Leo mixed with the moon, it could be extra playful because Leo is very, very playful, flirty. Could be maybe spending more time with children or, tapping the inner child within you as well. So set those intentions. Happy new moon, everybody. And look out for my interpretation of the Minnesota Vikings birth chart that's to come. I'm hoping actually to do every single NFL team. So more to come with that. I'm excited to share my findings and what I thought. So happy new moon to everybody. And until next time, purple people, and of course, everybody else, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate all of your support and for watching. And until next time, peace out. P.S. Mar. Hey, hi to you and Kitty. Hope you're doing well. Miss you both. And I hope to see me, see you soon. Talk to you soon. And of course, see you soon. All right, everybody. Thanks again for joining. I will see you next time. Bye.